Footballers who spend more than they earn. Lifestyle breakdown. Footballers are often seen as modern-day royalty, gliding across stadiums, signing multi-million-dollar contracts, and living lives of unimaginable luxury. But behind the glitz and the goals, not all is golden. Many players, despite earning astronomical sums during their peak, fall prey to overspending, poor financial planning, and the pressures of maintaining an image. Lavish mansions, fleets of supercars, impulsive investments, and entourages with expensive tastes have led some of football's brightest stars into dark financial corners. Today, we're diving into the stories of footballers whose spending spiraled out of control, showing us that even the most gifted talents are not immune to financial collapse. 1. Ronaldinho, the party prince turned penniless. Ronaldinho once lit up football pitches with his infectious smile and magical feet. At the peak of his career, he was earning millions from clubs like Barcelona and AC Milan, along with endorsements from major brands. Yet his love for partying, fast cars, and a lavish lifestyle quickly caught up with him. Despite his fortune, Ronaldinho was reportedly left with only around $6 in his bank account at one point. His Brazilian mansion was seized, and he even spent time in a Paraguayan prison due to passport fraud. The star who dazzled the world was eventually forced to face the consequences of unbridled spending. His life is a cautionary tale, reminding young athletes that stardom without structure can crumble fast. 2. Paul Gascoigne, talent shadowed by turmoil. Gaza is a name synonymous with English football greatness, but also with tragic downfall. Paul Gascoigne's earnings were substantial during his career, with spells at clubs like Newcastle, Tottenham, Lazio, and Rangers. But alongside his playing success came well-documented issues with alcohol and mental health, which impacted his judgment and spending habits. He reportedly spent vast sums on alcohol, legal battles, and failed business ventures. Despite attempts to get back on track, Gascoigne's finances have been in trouble multiple times. His emotional vulnerability made him a legend both on and off the pitch. Yet it also left him open to destructive decisions that drained his bank account far too quickly. 3. Adriano, from Inter Milan glory to financial collapse. Adriano, once dubbed the Emperor at Inter Milan, was seen as Brazil's next big thing. With a thunderous left foot and a powerful presence, he earned millions. However, following his father's death, Adriano's career and life took a tragic turn. He withdrew from top-tier football, battled depression, and was often spotted partying in favelas rather than training on the field. His financial management suffered heavily. Luxury cars, wild parties, and lack of long-term planning quickly diminished his fortune. Reports suggest that much of his wealth was either spent recklessly or handed over to friends and local groups. Adriano's decline highlights the emotional vulnerability of athletes and the devastating financial aftermath that can follow. 4. David James, England's goalkeeper, drowning in debt. At his peak, David James was one of the Premier League's highest-paid goalkeepers, earning millions with clubs like Liverpool, Aston Villa, and Portsmouth. Despite a long and relatively stable career, James found himself in severe financial difficulty after retiring. In 2014, he declared bankruptcy, forced to auction off his personal possessions, including signed shirts and his cherished memorabilia. The cause? A costly divorce, poor investments, and a lifestyle that continued long after his playing days ended. David James's downfall is a sobering reminder that even disciplined athletes can fall victim to the trappings of wealth when retirement planning isn't prioritized. 5. Wesley Sneijder, a star who burned too bright. The Dutch midfield maestro Wesley Sneijder had a glittering career playing for Ajax, Real Madrid, and Inter Milan. He was earning millions annually and lived a lifestyle worthy of his footballing genius. But in a candid interview, Sneijder admitted to living like a king without realizing the financial implications. From luxury cars and designer clothes to throwing parties that cost tens of thousands in one night, his expenditures piled up. He even confessed to losing a considerable portion of his wealth simply because he didn't understand how fast it was vanishing. Sneijder eventually toned down his lifestyle, but not before experiencing the harsh wake-up call many athletes receive. His story reflects how quickly fame and fortune can fade when spending outweighs saving, and how the thrill of excess can mask financial danger. 6. Royston Drenthe, the next big thing, who went broke. Once hailed as one of Real Madrid's rising stars, Dutch winger Royston Drenthe earned over $3 million a year during his playing days. But instead of investing or saving, Drenthe indulged in an extravagant lifestyle, parties, flashy cars, designer clothes, and even launching an unsuccessful rap career. By 2016, just a few years after his peak, he was declared bankrupt. Drenthe tried to revive his career by playing in lower leagues and appearing on reality TV shows, but the damage had already been done. His financial freefall illustrates how fleeting both fame and fortune can be, especially when success is mistaken for permanence. 7. Jermaine Pennant, luxury living, empty accounts. Jermaine Pennant earned millions in the Premier League, playing for clubs like Arsenal, Liverpool, and Stoke City. But despite the hefty paychecks, he lived a lifestyle that far outpaced his earnings. With a fleet of luxury cars, including one left abandoned at a train station, lavish parties, and an entourage to maintain, Pennant eventually filed for bankruptcy. In his autobiography, he admitted to spending recklessly and making zero investments. He even revealed that he didn't know how much he was paying in taxes for years. His story serves as a warning to young athletes. High income is meaningless without financial literacy and discipline. 8. Celestine Babayaro, from Chelsea star to bankruptcy court. Celestine Babayaro made waves in the Premier League with Chelsea and Newcastle United, earning a comfortable fortune. Yet just a few years after retiring, he was declared bankrupt. Babayaro reportedly continued living an expensive lifestyle long after his income stopped, racking up debts he couldn't repay. It was a combination of high living, poor financial advice, and perhaps the assumption that his football wealth would last forever. His tale is one of many where early fame leads to financial ruin due to lack of post-career planning. The glamour of the game hides the harsh truth that money management is as vital as match performance. 9. Keith Gillespie, from Manchester United to betting addiction. Keith Gillespie was once tipped for greatness under Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United. Though he didn't reach the heights expected, he still earned over £7 million in his career. But gambling addiction got the better of him. Gillespie reportedly lost more than £7.2 million due to betting, leaving him in massive debt. He later wrote a book detailing his struggles and has become an advocate for responsible gambling. His story is less about extravagant purchases and more about how personal demons can bleed a fortune dry. It's a powerful reminder of how off-pitch battles can be just as brutal as on-field ones. 10. Eric Djemba-Djemba, so good they named him twice, but spent it thrice. Once considered a future midfield general at Manchester United, Eric Djemba-Djemba's career never took off as expected. Despite early promise and solid earnings, he was declared bankrupt just a few years after leaving the Premier League. The Cameroonian footballer reportedly had over 30 bank accounts and spent uncontrollably on cars, homes, and supporting an extended entourage. He later admitted he didn't understand where his money went. The collapse of his financial stability came faster than his fall from football grace. Djemba-Djemba's case underscores the critical need for financial education among young stars who suddenly find themselves drowning in cash with little direction. These footballers once had it all: fame, fortune, and the world at their feet. But their stories reveal that income alone doesn't guarantee financial security. Lifestyle inflation, emotional turmoil, poor advice, and lack of planning can erode even the largest bank balances. While their talents earned them millions, it was their habits that determined whether that wealth would last. Let their experiences be a wake-up call to future athletes and fans alike. Manage your success wisely, or it might manage you. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful insights into the lives of your favorite football legends. Because sometimes what happens off the pitch is just as dramatic as what happens on it.